let's talk about what is going on in the tropics. Hurricane Fiona is now a major Category 4 hurricane with winds at 130 miles per hour. I was about to say 150. 130 is the correct number, and this thing will likely continue to strengthen as it gets closer to Bermuda, coming very, very close to the island. Hurricane force winds are now projected for the island of Bermuda, and then it will die down somewhat in strength as it interacts with somewhat cooler waters here, well off the coast in New England before eventually making landfall in Nova Scotia. More on Fiona coming up in just a couple of minutes. Invest98L, a very decent tropical wave sitting just now to the north of South America, has a 90% chance as it enters the Caribbean Sea. This thing will be very, very closely watched as we head into the middle and end of next week. Otherwise, in the tropics, we've got Tropical Storm Gaston, which is currently meandering here in the northeastern North Atlantic Ocean, and will continue to head northeast. No threat to us at all. And then there's two other tropical waves that are come into the main development region, and these are no threat to us at all. Let's go ahead and take a look now at Fiona, a major Category 4 hurricane. Winds are now once again at 130 miles per hour, and that pressure has dropped down to 937 millibars. And just look at this hurricane on satellite imagery, ladies and gentlemen. A beast of a hurricane, to say the least. A very clear, well-defined eye and plenty of convection or thunderstorms there in that outer cloud wall. Once again, that outer cloud wall is where the worst of the weather is. The strongest of the winds are there, and also the heaviest rain is there as well. And honestly, this thing will likely continue to strengthen as it gets closer to Bermuda. I wouldn't say that Category 5 strength is out of the question. While it's not forecasted or likely, it's definitely a possibility considering the power of this storm coming very, very close to the western coast of Bermuda. And then once again, as it gets way off the coast of New England, it will interact with somewhat cooler waters, and that's why a little bit of weakening is expected before eventually it makes landfall in Nova Scotia. The only thing we have to worry about from Fiona here along the eastern coast is just some moderate rip current risk. So if you do plan on going swimming tomorrow in the Atlantic Ocean, I definitely would not. It wouldn't be a terrible idea to swim closer to a lifeguard and heed all the advice that local police are saying. This is the one I'm most concerned about. This is Invest98L, a very nice tropical wave sitting just now to the north of South America. And this thing has a 90% chance of becoming a storm as it heads into the Caribbean Sea, possibly the Gulf of Mexico late next week. Let's take a look at all the different model runs. Here's a look at the American model, and you can clearly see right here as it gets just now to the north of South America, all the models are very closely together. That indicates very high forecast confidence. Or if all the models are telling us the exact same thing, it's pretty much a guarantee that 98L will go somewhere in this area. But we continue to travel westward as we head into late next week, somewhere once again it's closer to the Yucatan Peninsula, Cuba, and also the Gulf of Mexico too. All the models spread out and go their own different ways, and that is a sign of very low forecast confidence. Here's a look at the other model run we look at. This is the European model. Once again, models are very closely together as we enter the Caribbean Sea, indicating very high forecast confidence. But you continue westward towards Cuba, the Yucatan, and also the Gulf of Mexico. Models spread out, very low forecast confidence. Bottom line, even if this thing did make it to the United States, it's still way over here near South America and has at least a week, if not longer than that, before it gets here. So we have plenty of time to watch it. Obviously, I'll keep you updated right here on my Facebook, Twitter, and also on my YouTube channel as well. This is nothing to worry about, at least for the next 6 to 8 days, possibly once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico. Then we might need to take more precautions, but as of right now, it's just something that we need to watch very, very closely. And as you all know, we have Hurricane Fiona and Tropical Storm Gaston currently in the North Atlantic Ocean. So if Invest98L does get a name storm, which it likely will, the name will be Hermine. I will have your full forecast update tomorrow afternoon.